"I'm sorry you feel that way" is not an apology. It's a smoke bomb. It's a subtle conversational trick designed to sound like reconciliation while actually pushing all the responsibility back onto you. You're left standing in the smoke, confused, while the person who caused the problem walks away clean. When you accept these non-apologies, you're agreeing to let the problem happen again. You end up carrying someone else's mess, and your own trust gets eroded with each repeat offense. By the end of this video, that pattern stops. You will learn to spot the empty phrase, read the body language that betrays the words, and use a simple, calm method to ask for what a real apology delivers: repair. First, let's tune your ear to the language of deflection. The most common tell is the passive voice, famously captured in the political phrase, "mistakes were made." It acknowledges a problem exists, but magically, no one was responsible. Another tell is empathy without ownership. Phrases like, "I'm sorry this happened to you," or "I regret that things got difficult," sound kind, but notice what's missing: the word "I" connected to an action. They're sorry a bad thing occurred in your vicinity, not that they caused it. Then there's the conditional apology, which isn't an apology at all. "I'm sorry if you were hurt." The "if" implies the hurt is just a possibility, and maybe you're just overreacting. Finally, listen for the apology negating conjunction, the word "but." "I'm sorry I was late, but the traffic was terrible." The "but" serves to erase everything that came before it and replace it with an excuse. Let's see this in a real-world setting. Imagine a project lead ignores your warning about a key dependency, and as a result, the team misses a major deadline. In the review meeting, they turn to you and say, "I'm sorry you felt unsupported. Things just fell through the cracks." While they speak, they keep their laptop half closed on the table, a subtle barrier, and give a slight, dismissive shrug. This is a masterclass in deflection. It frames your feeling as the problem, not their action. The passive "things fell" assigns blame to gravity, not poor planning. To cut through this, you stay calm. You don't argue about their feelings or intent. You ask a simple, direct question. What part of the delay was on you specifically, and what's your plan to prevent this in the next sprint? Then you hold the silence and wait for a concrete answer. So if that's the fake, what does the real thing sound like? Psychiatrist Aaron Lazar, who studied the subject in depth, outlined the core components. A genuine apology acknowledges the specific harm done, accepts responsibility without excuses, expresses sincere remorse, and, this is the crucial part, makes an active offer of repair, followed by a commitment to not repeat the mistake. Let's rewrite that project lead's line. A real apology would sound like this: "I made a bad call ignoring your warning about the dependency. That was my mistake, and it cost the team a week. I am sorry. I will own this delay in the report to leadership, and I will personally move tasks X and Y to get us back on track by Friday. From now on, I will gate all major commits with your final check." See the difference? There are no vague feelings. There are nouns, verbs, and dates you can circle on a calendar. This isn't just about feelings, it's about function. Research by legal scholar Jennifer Robinot consistently finds that full apologies, the ones that accept responsibility, measurably reduce anger and increase people's willingness to settle disputes. Partial apologies that just express regret often make things worse. Often, the words will say yes, while the body is screaming no. Your brain can process speech far faster than it's delivered, leaving you with spare cognitive bandwidth. Use it to watch for the mismatch. The single biggest nonverbal red flag is contempt. According to the foundational research of Dr. John Gottman, contempt is a powerful predictor of relationship failure. It shows up as a tiny, one-sided lip raise, a subtle eye roll, or a small smirk that flickers across the face during the apology. If you see it, take it very seriously. Also watch for the lightning-fast microexpressions that psychologist Paul Ekman studied. A flash of anger or disgust might leak out in a fraction of a second, revealing the true emotion behind the conciliatory words. Beyond the face, look for incongruence. A shrug paired with the word sorry, a head shaking no while the mouth says yes, a body and feet angled toward the exit, signaling a desire to escape. These tells aren't a perfect lie detector, but they are a signal to slow down and demand more clarity. Ultimately, the apology isn't the words, it's the repair. Research on trust repair and crisis communication shows the same thing. In situations where clear harm was done, denial and deflection only intensify the damage. The only way to restore trust is through apology plus substantive action. A famous public example was United Airlines in 2017. Their first statement after a passenger was dragged off a plane used the bizarre euphemism, reaccommodate. The public backlash was immense because the language dodged responsibility. Only after a direct apology from the CEO, which took full ownership and outlined specific policy changes, did the outrage begin to cool. This applies in our own lives. A sibling borrows your car and returns it with a dent. A fake apology is, "I'm so sorry this happened. That parking lot is a nightmare," paired with a nervous smirk. A real apology is, "I hit a post while parking. I was careless. I've already started the insurance claim, and I will pay the full deductible this week. I won't borrow your car again." One is a story, the other is a plan. This brings us to a simple field test you can use in any situation. When you receive a fuzzy apology, calmly ask 3 questions. 1. What specifically are you apologizing for? This forces them to name their action. 2. How did that affect me? This requires them to acknowledge the impact. And 3. What specifically will you do to fix this and prevent it from happening again? This demands a plan of action, preferably with a timeline. If you get clear, direct answers, you have a basis for repair. If you get vagueness, excuses, or they try to turn the conversation back to your feelings, "Well, I'm sorry you took it that way," you have your answer. You are dealing with deflection, not a sincere attempt to make things right. So what do you do when they won't give a real apology? You don't argue. You don't try to force remorse. You simply adjust their access and your expectations. An apology is data. A non-apology is also data. It tells you what you can expect from this person in the future. If they refuse to name, fix, and prevent, you now know not to trust them in that same situation again. At work, you narrow the scope of their project involvement and add more checkpoints. In your family, you stop lending the car. You can state the boundary calmly and directly. "Until we have a clear plan to prevent this from repeating, I'm going to change how we handle this." No drama, no fighting over their intentions. You are simply turning a dial, not flipping a switch. You are scaling their access to match the level of trust they've demonstrated. Before we close, a word of caution. Not all fumbled apologies come from a place of manipulation. Some people are simply anxious or unskilled in handling conflict. And communication styles, particularly around eye contact and directness, can vary across cultures. That's why you focus on the pattern over time, and most importantly on the repair, not on mind reading. But for those moments of deliberate deflection, here is your one move. Reframe the entire situation in your mind. An apology is not a feeling, it is a contract offer for future behavior. The next time you hear, "I'm sorry you feel," just pause, and then ask calmly, "What part of this is on you, and what will you do to repair it?" Their answer will tell you everything you need to know. If they offer a contract, you can choose to accept. If they offer smoke, you can choose to walk through it and adjust your boundaries accordingly. That is calm, grounded power. If this gave you an edge, subscribe for more applied psychology from Mindmoat. We help you read people, see through manipulation, and carry yourself with the quiet confidence of the person who understands the most. Tap subscribe, leave a like to help the channel, and check out our other deep dives on emotional mastery and social power. Take care and see you next time.